There's a popular internet claim that the story of Jesus, his birth, miracles, death, and resurrection wasn't unique, but borrowed directly from ancient mythological figures like Horus, the Egyptian sky god. These claims are often framed as revelations that challenge the originality or authenticity of the Christian narrative. But what do the actual historical and mythological sources say? Let's start with the basics. Horus is a major deity in ancient Egyptian mythology, the son of Isis and Osiris. According to the myth, Osiris was murdered and dismembered by his brother Set. Isis reassembled his body and through magical means conceived Horus. So right away we see a key difference. Horus was not born of a virgin in the traditional sense. Isis was a widow who used magic to conceive, not a parallel to the Virgin Mary in the Gospels. Another common claim is that Horus was born on December 25th. This is false. There is no ancient Egyptian source that assigns that date to Horus's birth. In fact, that date was likely chosen much later by early Christians to coincide with Roman festivals like Sol Invictus. Applying it retroactively to Horus is historically inaccurate. You may also hear that Horus had 12 disciples, was crucified, and rose from the dead. None of that is supported by the actual texts. Horus did not have 12 disciples. At most, there are references to 4 sons of Horus, but they are symbolic figures tied to burial practices, not followers. As for crucifixion, that's a specifically Roman form of execution with no presence in Egyptian mythology. Horus was never crucified, and unlike Jesus, he does not undergo a sacrificial death followed by a resurrection. Instead, his father Osiris is the one who dies and becomes ruler of the underworld, while Horus survives and becomes king of the living. These supposed parallels come from heavily distorted interpretations by 19th century writers and fringe theorists, not by scholars of religion, history, or Egyptology. Figures like Gerald Massey popularized these ideas without academic rigor, and they've been repeated in modern documentaries like Zeitgeist without sourcing or critical examination. In contrast, actual scholars, including skeptics of Christianity like Bart Ehrman, reject the Horus-Jesus parallel as historically unfounded. Egyptologists, too, like Geraldine Pinch and Dr. Robert Wente, have made clear that there's no evidence for these connections in primary Egyptian sources. So why do these claims keep spreading? Mainly because they sound dramatic and challenge tradition, which appeals to viral media. But when you peel back the surface and look at the actual history, the comparisons fall apart. In short, the Jesus story does not borrow from the Horus myth. The similarities are superficial at best and often completely fabricated. When we approach history with careful research rather than catchy headlines, the truth becomes much clearer and far more interesting. If you found this breakdown helpful and want to see more myth-busting content like this, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss what's coming next.